Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Divine Panther Presents. Today, we're going back to Montana and talk about the Dutton Ranch and the wildness that ensues with the Yellowstone as we talk about season 3 spoiler review. So what do we have going on in this season in the big picture? John Dutton and crew are facing a new form of gentrification in the form of market equity, who is trying to buy up the land and make it a paradise for rich people, basically, to hang out. We got Tom Rainwater's efforts toward reparations is thwarted by market equity. So he's kind of stuck in his shit. And we got some family things that ensue. And then in the end, the reservation comes up with a solution in some areas. And then wild shit happens. Cowboys get to be cowboys. Anyway, so let's get into all this. But wait, where are we going to go? What are we going to do? Kim, where would you like to start? What topic you think the season brought to you?
Well, the most shocking one for me, let's just say that, was Beth's sterilization. And Jamie knew it. I mean, she went to Jamie for help. And then he goes inside the abortion clinic and the woman tells him several times, like, this is going to be a sterilization. This is what this clinic does. And he was like, cool. And she goes out to Beth and Beth was like, is it okay? Yeah, it's okay. He never says anything about, oh, they're going to snatch your uterus, and you're like, I don't even know how old she was. Was she like a teenager, I think?
We're going for 16, probably that Hollywood age 16.
Could you imagine someone? I couldn't even imagine someone sterilizing me at 16.
But even if you go to the doctor and you tell them to take it out, they won't do it.
No, you have to get permission to actually have a hysterectomy if you're married. Your husband has to sign off on that. You cannot just do that. So I was like, oh, I thought that was I was glad that they let us know finally what the rift was between those two. So that was really good, but that was devastating. I would never speak to him again.
When did she find out that she didn't have a uterus? Like when she didn't have periods no more?
See, I don't know. They haven't really shown that part. But yeah, I thought that was really significant because we needed to know why the hatred for Jamie was so huge, right? And then for me, the next part was when Jamie went to go see his father, his real father.
Let's focus on the.
Okay. Well, let's finish. Abortion.
So Stacey, anything else for Sid?
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me because it seems like there was some type of documentation you would have to review and sign off on, and like a discussion about aftercare. Like if you get a hysterectomy, like there's things you have to do to heal yourself. So for her to not have been talked to about it beforehand was kind of weird. And the fact that they were doing that to Indian women is even more weird.
And as young as she was, that was like, why would you do that? Like,
and why couldn't they just go to like the next state or something if they were concerned about somebody seeing them? Just go to like Utah or wherever.
Right.
Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, so I actually thought, even though I understand now why she hates Jamie, to me, I found this a very stupid plot hole. And what I mean by that is, I am sorry, but there's no way you can tell me that, right? As she was on the operation table, they don't even bring up to her, by the way, like we just told your brother. There wasn't even a line in there that said, hey, by the way, don't tell my sister when she comes back in to get the procedure. Like, what? That's to true. Me, it's stupid. Yeah. Unless it comes out later on that maybe she, like maybe in other seasons, she said like, oh, I was lying. I didn't know. I still just hate Jamie Lee.
No, you're right. Because whenever you have surgery, not to cut you off, but whenever you have surgery, no matter what it is, because I've had 11, they repeat to you that when you first do the intake, they say, what are you here for? They would say it to you, right? And you tell them what you're there for. Then you go back into the room where you're going to get prepped and they repeat it. What are you here for? Then when you get on the actual operating table, they say to you before they knock you out, what are you here for? They always do that. because they want to make sure that you are absolutely aware of what is about to happen to you.
Yeah.
You know, so you're right. That's it. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was just like, what? But that being said, what happened here, as far as the whole idea of Native Americans, that has been going on around the country for decades, and not just Native Americans. Like, matter of fact, I'm reading something here, even from PBS.org, that from 2006 to 2010, the state of California, they authorized 150 female inmates from being to be sterilized. And then from another quote, they basically saying that, oh shoot, I just lost it. But it was saying that basically it was approximately 20,000 sterilizations that took place to those who were seen as inferior and those who were seen as being problematic to society. And also, so it wasn't just, apparently, according to this, not just Native Americans, but it was done to like Hispanics in certain states or whatnot. So this made a lot of sense in the sense of that, like, whoa, you can't afford to, like, you know, I mean, you can't just have like regular Planned Parenthood, or they'll get turned away. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're going here, like, no. So you just go to like this little low budget abortion clinic, and they do more than just give you an abortion. You know what I mean? As far as what they're authorized to do. Surprisingly, apparently, according to this, it's still going on today in certain areas. So yeah.
It was a huge issue. Jemani, the thoughts on the situation?
It was it was like Game of Thrones. It was just like fantasy at that point, because it just didn't make any sense. Like, I know a lot about like just in the past year with them talking about like it being like the end weekend. Hello?
Yeah, just
what are you looking at?
Just staring at your do-rag. Like, you gotta fix
there you
it.
go.
No,
And walk
down. Nope, down.
Oh,
There you go. There you go.
on a roller coaster. Good
Like,
enough.
You got that suave angle. You like this? All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I was saying, like, this weekend being like the anniversary of like the overturning of Roe v. Wade. The past year we've been hearing all about all of that stuff. And me following it, I'm like, you have to have this patient rights. There's HIPAA. There's, you go in, they're going to explain to you what the procedure is, what's going to happen with the procedure. I'm like, in some states, they make you listen to the heartbeat before they even do the procedure. If that's a clinic where that's a contingency of them doing it, they would state that to the patient. I'm like, otherwise, like, she has like the biggest lawsuit of malpractice on her hands in existence, because she's a minor, and Jamie is not her parent, regardless of him being of age, so to say, in the scenario. He couldn't, so to say, like, give guardianship or something, or take away her rights to reproduction. It just didn't make any sense on any realistic level.
I agree with you with that. Also, from a storytelling wise, though, this is where I was saying it's inconsistent with the story itself. Like, they threw this in this season to give Jamie and Beth a reason for Beth to hate Jamie, because that's not the situation that they must have had in season 1. Because in season 1, I think episode 1 or 2, Beth is a drug addict, whatever. Like, Jamie's like, I'm celibate. I don't want to have kids because I don't want my genes to pass genes that made something like you. And I'm like, if that was the story, then she would have killed him. Like, there's no way he would have said that to her. Like, it's a different thing. When she talks about loss in the car and she's about to shoot herself, she's talking about the loss of her mother. She's talking about the loss of Lee. And then Jamie's like, well, you can hate me if that stops you from hating yourself less. Like, it was a whole different situation. And
yeah,
now,
but I could see that when she came in and she saw John reading to Tate or whatever, and then she went into the room and just started screaming. It was like, oh, that won't happen with my child, so to say. There won't be any grandparent moments or anything like that. So I can see that being something that put her over the edge and made her go and scream in the room or whatever. And
but then you got the problem in season 1, and only in season 1, they say that the reason that Casey got branded was because he told him to tell the woman he got pregnant to have an abortion. And so we should have saw this from Monica's point of view as a Native American who on that reservation is where that abortion would have happened, and she would have got a hysterectomy. Like, we're seeing this from the white person's point of view, but I'm like, this should have been her story at some level. And I'm saying, and then Beth would have hated her father for that, especially after she had an abortion, her stuff was taken. Like, and especially when we get to other seasons, this story's not over. Like, it's not consistent. Like, I think they were trying to reset their relationship in season 2, and they made Beth hate him again, and they were trying to come up with a reason that's going to last a lot longer. Like, this thing becomes a constant issue between her and Rip, between her and Rip, and her and Jamie. And that like drives her for like the rest of the series. And I'm like, I just think they stick in something.
I've said this, that there's continuity issues all over this show. If you binge watch this, you're going to notice every single last one of them, and it just falls apart. It doesn't make any sense at all. Like, I have a long list. I hope that this is the worst season, because if it gets worse as far as with continuity, it's just going to, I don't know how you guys can praise this show so much when it has so many.
It's a great show.
It is a good show, Jamani.
Yeah,
It's just
Jamani,
that, but no
quick
show is
front.
perfect.
Yeah,
There's no
Jamani,
show that's perfect.
I think, yeah, I was about to say, Jamani, I think what it is because this show is so great. When you see a plot hole, it stands out compared to we're doing The Chi, and we just ignore like the 8 million stuff that's out there. But then all of a sudden they have one little plot. We're like, oh snap! It was a good episode. When truthfully, it really wasn't.
It was.
I think we're just grading it very strongly. I think that's what it is about Yellowstone.
But to their credit, once they grab onto this storyline again, it drives so many things with Beth. Like they don't let this go, and it changes her whole trajectory with her family and especially with Rip. But again, they just kind of started this in season 3 to an extent. But Jamani, it's your turn. What topic? One topic would you like to get into as it relates to season 3?
Okay, let's go with Jamie. All right, like, I don't understand how so this is probably the big plot hole right along with Beth is he was okay. How long has it been since the show started? Like, timeline wise, like it's been a year and a half, maybe at best.
Let's say that.
Huh?
Let's say around 2 years. Let's say each season
2 or
maybe
3 years, something like that.
Yeah. Let's say each season's a year. Let's just say that.
Okay, I'm saying it seems like the end of season 2 rolled right into the beginning of season 3. Like, a lot of time had passed. That's why I was just saying. So all right. So either way, I don't understand how Jamie was running for Attorney General at the end of season 1, gave up on it at the beginning of season 2, right?
Yeah.
This other woman took the office, right? And you're running unopposed now, so the office is yours, right? She just magically disappears, and he gets the office. No election, no, nothing to do with this other woman. Like, how does this just
Happen?
It doesn't make any.
That is true. That's very true. I was wondering that myself. I was like, what? This is like a back and forth. Like, they did so many different things. They made him a ranch hand. Then they were like, after. I was like, the hell? What's doing with Jamie? Like,
they don't
giving
know.
him new jobs.
They don't know.
He was the commissioner of the BLM. I'm like, so how does this office work? Is it an elected office? Is it an appointed office? Because if he was running for election, now he can just be appointed to it. No special election. No, I'm like, I don't understand the laws or
Oh, I don't even.
What
Laws are
type
not
of-
involved in this, sweetheart.
Yeah, we gotta let
No,
you gotta let that one go. But
yeah, you gotta let there's no law. This is a lawless time. This lawless area.
it's this
Like,
lawless show. This is
yes.
they give no damns. But anyway,
No.
if we're gonna do Jamie, let's do a bigger issue of his.
I ain't related to you.
Yeah. Let's do who is whose daddy, because I was like, what?
No, how does a grown man, not a 40-year-old man, have never seen his birth certificate? Like he needs it for this job. He didn't
Tommy
need it
never
for
saw
the
his.
commissioner. He didn't need it for the commissioner job that he had before attorney general.
That's
He
true.
didn't need it for law
That's true,
school to
Stacey.
take a bar exam. None of that.
He didn't need it for his law license to get that. Anything. He's never seen his birth certificate before. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense.
All right, so let's get into that. Let's go with Chris. Chris, what are your thoughts on who Jamie's?
Which part? Birth certificate or is him just not being the son?
Well, all that together, split to get actors. So,
Okay. I'm like,
birth certificate, daddy issues. What you got?
no, I remember when I watched it, I was like, "Yo, that was a great twist." Here's what I do like about it. I like the fact that, and it's very consistent to even season one, that John still looks at him as a son. You know what I mean? Even though like you would expect when Jamie confronted John about that, you expected John to be like, "You're right, you're not my son," but he turned around. He says, "Yeah, that guy might be your biological father, but I'm the man who raised you." Like, and then he ended with like, "Good night, son." Like, so I love that moment. You know, it's just a matter of time, probably that Beth's going to find out about this crap. But yeah, I do find it very, very interesting that how he's the one that, well, Beth too, I guess technically speaking, have difficulties like riding a horse and doing all that, and then you're like, this explains a few things. But the guy who plays his father, whoever plays Randall, he's a really great actor. So
yeah, he is.
He's a really, really great actor, and you know, I think it will be awesome if they do like, because I know they do all these other spinoffs. It'll be awesome if they do like spinoffs of something that took place like stuff in like the 70s or 80s or whatnot, right? And they don't necessarily have to have the kids and whatnot, but like have the moments when like straight up like moments like that where the father does kill his wife because they were high and he finds out that his wife is prostitute, you know, and shit like that. You know what I mean? They have so much room to go all over the place with the stuff. So, but yeah, that is devastating. I can't imagine one day like you find out like you weren't you're adopted. You know what I mean? And that's horrible. And then in John's mind, just think about it. Like he's thinking about legacy, right? The only person he got Tate, right? He can't look at Beth because Beth can't have any kids. And then Jamie, I mean, I guess Jamie, he sees him as the son, but it's not like his blood. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just this family is straight up a soap opera. All right, it's incredible though. I'm all in for it. You're absolutely right, Jemani, and pretty much everything he had to do from him going to Harvard or whatnot, he should have had a birth certificate. He didn't, but guess what, man? I ain't give a shit. I was like, but you're right, Jamal. You are absolutely right. You need a birth certificate for all of this shit. But man, this shit was so juicy. I was like, who gives a fuck?
Let's just keep it moving. Kim.
Wait. Just as a quick aside, the same thing happened with Rick in the season. Whenever we get to that, but the same thing happened and it annoyed me too as well.
All right, we will get to these things. Kim, what did you think about Jamie's issues?
One, I can't stand Jamie right now. It does explain why he looks so different from everyone else, because there is nothing about him ever screamed, "Oh, you're a Dutton." Nothing. Okay, so and I'm trying to figure, is that actor wearing a wig? Because that hair is terrible.
Which actor?
Jamie's hair. Okay, because I was looking at it, like really looking at it, and I was like, I paused for a second because I was like, can I see any kind of edge or something? It was
edge. Even the part is like
it's weird, right?
And then the back, it looks like a helmet.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
when he
was
was all
like,
scuffed up. Oh yeah.
yeah, it just looks weird, right? So he doesn't look like them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's not related, right?
And
So
also, this is a TV show, and
yeah,
that's
exactly. And so,
so,
yeah. And so, but I think they did that on purpose. I think that was purposeful that they have him looking so different than everyone else. Because even Lee didn't look like the rest of them either, except for his beard was kind of like that reddish brown blonde kind of, but his hair was actually dark, you know. So anyway, but so yeah, so one, I when you're adopted, you should, if you adopt a child, you should let them know as soon as you can, because these things happen where now the child finds out as they're older, and it's a hurtful thing. But if your parents tell you early enough, then you understand it. It's something that you have to make your child understand and why they did it, right? And so so I think John just did it to protect Jamie. He did, you know, you don't always, he was being a parent. He loved him, and so did his wife, as their own. And so I think he just didn't think he needed to tell, you know, Jamie. It's like, I love you no matter what. You're not my blood, but I still love you as my son. So I'm not going to tell you what's going on. Well, that backfired because Jamie is now resentful. And Jamie is so, I can't even find the words.
That's the word.
Go from John, who put you through law school, who loved you as his own child, to meet this piece of shit, because the whole story that the father told to Jamie about the wife being a prostitute and being on drugs, and they were both on drugs. So you mean to tell me, because Jamie was in the crib crying, you come home, your wife is banging someone in the sink, this made you go, oh, let me just kill her, and Jamie will be without parents, period, because you're going to jail and she's dead. How does this make sense? You could have just surrendered the child.
Bad parenting.
Yeah, just surrender the child to like the police or fire department or somewhere,
yes,
church.
I mean, something.
Yeah, something. I was like, this is ridiculous. And then Jamie, as he's an idiot because he believes this. And now he's like, oh, he's my family. Dude, you just met him 10 seconds ago. He could be lying about the whole thing. How do you know he's really telling you the truth? Your mother could have been a saint and he was beating her anyway.
But
right?
remember when John told his story, he was saying that the mom was a saint and she was too good for him and all this stuff. And I was like, so now she's a crackhead?
Exactly. Right. That's who would you believe? And I would believe John, because John has nothing to lose, right? But the father, who's been in jail for years now, who has a son who now has money because he's a Dutton, right? That man is trying to get money. He's trying to, get benefits from Jamie now, right? So yeah, so Jamie believes him. I was like, you're a freaking idiot. I was
No,
so
but
mad.
he had his assistant look up the case.
He what? I'm sorry, say that again.
I said he had his assistant look up the case, and he was reading up on it on his computer. So he read the case before he went to see what's his name, Randall, or the biological father. So he had already seen it.
But
but still,
but
Jamie,
Jamie
he enhanced the story
on why he did it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and he still was like, okay, Dad, that makes complete sense that you had to murder my mama. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, I think part of it, I mean, to be honest, because luckily none of us has ever had to go through all that, right? Like not knowing at the time, and then or being lied to the point where he's already been abandoned from one family, with the exception of maybe of Casey, right? That he's reaching out to this stranger easily. I get that happens, unfortunately, in real life. You know what I mean? Like this guy who shares half of your DNA with you. You know what I mean? You're just going to, unfortunately, I think we were in that situation. We might just, unfortunately, because we will be that fragile to just go with it. You know what I mean? So that's why I was all right with it, because I've seen, you watch stuff like court TV and trials and stuff. I've seen shit where it's just humans will believe so many things that they're that damaged, or they feel that damaged or that fragile. You know what I mean? And I don't care at what education you have, Harvard degree, Yale, whatever. You know what I mean? If you're that much in a broken state, yeah, I can see how you could just believe him just straight up. You know what I mean? You know, it's not that uncommon. I mean, we're looking at it like, yo, that's stupid. You're an idiot. How you just gonna believe this dude? You know, but for him,
even though he believed him, Chris, he still killed his mother. That you know what I'm saying? Like that, this man, you're gonna be on the side of the man who took away your mother. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't care whether you're trying to find your DNA or family, whatever. He took away the person who gave Jamie life. So how is Jamie like all in? Oh, he's my family now. He took away the most important part of your family. Like,
right. Well, I also look at it like this. Jamie several times in season 1 and 2 have either wanted to either kill or has actually killed. Right. You know what I mean? And I look at it as in the sense that, to be honest, if I thought this is what I thought was going to happen when he first met his father first, I thought his father was going to deny everything. But like, oh, that's what they said. They charged me with murder or whatever. And not only was the dude straight up and said, yes, I killed her. And then say, yo, we were high. And yeah, he said she's going to prostitute her body. And knowing the type of state that they were all in, that is easily be like, yep, that makes sense. Unfortunately, I hate to just say it like that, but yeah, I could see that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I that's, you know, I mean, yeah, you know, so this guy had, like, I feel like the exact opposite, Kim, in the sense of, I feel like this guy doesn't have anything to lose. I hear what you're saying as far as like, yeah, he can leverage him or whatever. But at this point in his life right now, Jamie is seen as an outcast and he's lost everything. So, you know what I mean? He has the name Dutton, but what, like, you know what I mean? I feel like he was just being as straight up and as honest as he thought he was. But
Jamie also, when John was talking to Jamie about this,
yeah,
he never stopped saying son. It was on purpose. He kept saying that, son, because he wants Jamie to know that no matter what, I am your father and I love you and you're my son. And when someone does that, especially a guy like John, he means it, right? But Jamie took that shit and threw it in the trash.
Yeah, because it's conflicting stuff. Because John would say, "I'm your father," and then 2 days before, you want to kill me because you find out what happened to Beth. You know what I mean? Like, you're right. Yeah, but, and what John said, it was real. It's real. What he says, like, real, right. I see as a, but at the same time, if you're in Jamie's headspace or whatnot, everything is just very, very fucking conflicting. Like, I'm supposed to be AG. Then you're telling me I'm not going to be AG. And you demand me to get off of this, and then you want me to be a lawyer, and then you tell me, like, no, now you're going to be in the bunkhouse. Wait.
I wanted to say, basically, so when he was talking to the biological or Randall, it was basically, he said, yeah, I've killed everything that I loved or that has loved me. And he's like, well, you're a killer too, aren't you? You've killed before. Yeah, I can see it in you. And it was like he saw a connection in that. So, because he said, like, I'm not good at anything, you know, that I'm doing. Yeah. So he felt more of a connection in that. And him seeing
John is a murderer too. Yeah. And so is his brother Casey. Like, if you want to bond over murder, there are better people to bond with.
Sir. Exactly.
You got Rip. You got the whole fucking Wranglers.
Yes. Everybody.
It's a whole house full of murders.
No. Those are more instrumental killings. Like, they're killing for profit or you know, to keep themselves out of jail. This is like, I'm killing out of emotion. Like, when he killed that lady, he just got filled with rage, and like the Hulk or something.
That was self-preservation. That was self-preservation because she was about to put out an article that destroyed his family as he saw it at the time. Wait, Stacey, what do you think about Jamie?
Jamie's a bitch. He needs to die.
Thank you. That's it.
String him up on a horse and just let him hang there with his dirty wig. Like, he irks my soul. From season 1, I was like, something is different. Yeah. I thought he was like maybe an affair baby or something because he didn't fit in. And I was like, well, what is it? And then him and Beth going at it. I was like, did he molest her? Or
that's like, what I thought. I thought that too. Yep, I did. Like, I knew he was adopted, but I also thought he molested Beth. because she had
I
so
don't
much
know.
rage for him. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just weird. And I just always hated him. He's not a good person. He's a bitch. Sorry.
Yes.
See,
I need Rip to like murder him, like really like.
so we can talk about that later.
I can see that.
I think Jamie's always in a bad situation. Like his dad,
He always puts himself in a bad situation. He is the bad situation.
his family asked him to do. His family
Well,
asked him.
John
to,
does.
Tariq
John
level
loves him.
hatred for me.
his family.
Listen,
He's always put.
No.
You're right,
John,
David. Go ahead.
John says
Preach, David.
fix this. John says fix this. He fixes it, and then he gets in trouble.
That's
Beth
true.
comes
You're
to
right.
him and says, "I'm pregnant." Not Lee, mind you. She has an oldest brother. Not Lee. She goes to Jamie. Jamie fixes it, and then he gets in trouble for it.
Jamie does not come to you and say, "Hey, we can get an abortion here, but they're going to take your uterus." That would be the same thing to say. He makes bad decisions.
She has a father. She has a
I'm
mother.
going to drive you to Utah.
Well,
when
not
nobody
a
knows
mother.
us.
Oh, that's right.
He
Well,
did not do
father.
that. I'm sorry.
saying-
He makes bad decisions, and he's blamed because he makes bad decisions.
And people put him in the. I just feel like people do put him in situations
Because they have no choice. He's typically like the last person that's available that can do something.
No,
He's
Stacey,
a
that's not
lawyer.
fair.
Yeah,
That's
no,
not
no,
right.
no.
So
no,
again,
no.
but also with the
Yeah.
with the adoption thing, a plot hole would be how did no one figured this out? Like Lee's the oldest, so at some point, John and his wife came home with a kid,
Like,
and
who's the new
Lee
kid?
should have been like, "What?
Yeah.
Like this is not my sibling." Like like, and that should have been a conversation from jump. So this whole we all grew up together, and only this piece of paper proves that you're not one of us doesn't really hold up. Like for me, like
Unless there's a flashback scene where it shows John telling Lee like, "Shh." Like then there you go. Then all is solved.
when y'all start fighting, the first words out your mouth is you adopted. Like you're not even one of us. Like it just they needed a plot. They needed a plot thing, and that's what even at the end of he's trying to do the best he can. He thought the only way to save anything with the Jutton is to sell this land because they're gonna take it one way or the other. So even
Well, he had 500 million reasons to want to sell that land.
but he was looking for the family. He was like, we get something or we get nothing. But in the end, John is like, fuck you. And Beth is like, fuck you. You try to take our land. And it's like.
But Beth had already come to her dad with the same type of speech, and John told her no.
And Beth
Right?
said that that is the right
She
decision.
said it,
But
yeah,
she's
she
like,
did.
I'm hardcore love daddy, so we're just gonna see this thing to the end. But
Right.
but Jamie was like, this is the right decision. Like, and we need to do what's best for all of us, even though it may not be what we want to hear. So
Right.
I don't know. Also, so this was the season where John was like, I will kill you for what you did to Beth.
Yeah.
Right. That happened this season.
That was right. He was right.
So,
but he was right to say that to him because why would you do that to your sister?
Again, go back to season 1. like you all like, I can't believe you couldn't come to me with this. Dad, you told my brother to go get his woman aborted, to get that baby aborted. And now you're sitting up having cereal with this kid. Like, don't talk to me.
That
Like you
couldn't even happen then. Casey is younger, so I'm sure that hadn't even happened yet.
so it should have happened first. That should have happened first. So Beth's situation should have happened way before Casey and Monica's situation.
Yes.
So
it
I'm
should.
saying, I'm saying Beth should have been like, why like now she should be like, why would I come to you? Like I saw how you treated Casey and Monica. Why would I have come
But she
to you?
didn't see it.
They would have known. That's the conversation.
It hadn't happened yet.
When it
I'm about to say that was
happened,
way before the whole Casey thing.
Yeah,
saying,
way before.
when Casey and Monica would have happened, that's when Beth should have been helping him based on
Did
her
she
own
know
story.
that when it happened?
That would have been a conversation. How you not tell your sibling that?
Tell you
How do you
what?
not tell your siblings
Tell your
that you got your girlfriend pregnant?
Are you kidding me?
This dysfunctional family? This
You got
dysfunctional family is not
branded.
going to tell each other that.
What? You just got
David.
branded by your fucking father. Why? I don't know. It's just a Tuesday. No, like if he ran off to the military, these are conversations. This family is tight enough. The siblings would have talked about.
Oh yeah, because so the siblings would have known about his adoption as well. That they did not know.
Well, again,
Like,
yes,
what do you
actually,
mean?
that was my argument that they would have known.
No, you said Lee, but you didn't say nothing about Beth in case he should have known.
If at the minimum, Lee would have been born when Casey showed up. At the minimum, yes.
Right.
I mean, and so then Casey came. Let's just say Casey, Beth, and Casey.
I would say
came.
Lee knew. I would say Lee knew because he is the oldest. But I don't think that Beth and
John
Casey
told
knew.
Lee, son, keep this between us. Don't tell your.
Yeah,
he
he
wouldn't have
did
said
say-
nothing.
Yeah,
What?
that's an easy thing. Yeah.
That's not hard to do.
How many years is Lee older than Jamie? He might not even remember it if he was like 1 or 2 when they brought him home.
Exactly, because it was like a few months old that Jamie was when it
he
took
was
him.
an infant.
He was an infant. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I took it that Lee and Jamie weren't that far apart in age. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, so
like,
I don't think Beth and
is a 2-year-old going to be
Casey were
like,
even around.
is a 2-year-old really going to be like, wait,
Right.
what? Remember
All right,
that kid?
fine. So
Remember
you
that kid
got a
that was
baby in
around
the
me when
house
I was
and
2?
nobody's gonna see that shit. All right, fine. I'm saying, like, if you got siblings that you are close to, you talk to, at some point, why are you
The
not part of the
community
family?
would
Why
have
are you
known
arguing with
because
daddy?
that was a high-profile trial, I would assume, and
You
the
would-
kid went somewhere.
So that would have been something. It's all plot convenient. I'm saying it's hard. It's hard. If it was hard for me to be like, why John is all of a sudden shocked that his daughter wouldn't have come to him. I'm like, when Casey.
That's what parents do. Like
Yeah,
after the
exactly.
fact, after you do something, you be like, "Oh, you should have come to me." Like,
Yeah.
you know damn
Hey,
well.
David,
I
I'm
was
sorry.
coming
There is a
to
difference between having a boy and a girl in the sense that, imagine you have a boy and a girl, right? You have a boy who is like, what, 18, 19 years old and gets a girl knocked up. Not only a girl knocked up, but a girl that like of a culture that a lot of people look down on or whatnot. You might just be like, yeah, you might want to handle that. But then all of a sudden, your girl who was like underage, not only who you're really close with, who not only got an abortion, but got an abortion and now can never have children again. Yes, you're going to say like, yo, you should have came to me. Yes, you're going to treat those situations definitely differently, especially because of the age difference as well. You know what I mean? Or actually, forget the age. Boys and girls, as far as yo, that Monica ain't his kid. Why does he care if she gets an abortion? Like what? Like, you know what I mean? Nah, it's like, no. Now his own daughter, yeah, he's going to feel some type of way. Yes, it's a double standard.
All right. So let me cut in. Let me cut in. I think that it was a matter of she was doing it to protect Rick, right? And I think that she was kind of trying to come clean to Rick. She was like, "How many people have you killed?" And he was like, "Don't ask me that. How many people have you killed?"
So you think she was going to tell him at that moment?
She was. I think she was. If he answered, I think she would have said, "I killed one. I killed our child." I think she would have.
That's not how you do that. That's not how you.
No, sir. No.
I think that was.
Yeah. That's he.
You have to remember the mind. Well, you don't know, Jamani, but the mindset of getting an abortion is you will never think of it as killing, because if you do, women would never get an abortion.
Yeah.
They have to fool themselves into believing that this is something that I can't do, right? It's beneficial to everyone involved that we not have this baby. If you even let killing a child into your mind, no one would ever have an abortion. No one. So
I'm just saying that the way that the scene was set up, it seems as though
I don't think
I'm like everybody's different. I'm like, that might be what some people.
Best way.
Yeah, because I'm like, Beth is not the typical
person
female. She just operates on her own set of rules and everything is.
I hear you, Jamani. But again, this situation is not over. Like we will this issue will be brought up a few times, and we will see how Beth deals with it. But this ain't the last time. But anyway, Stacey, what topic for you?
Beth and Rick, of course. My 2 little honey bunnies. They're so cute. They're like little big ass murderous kids running around. It's like adorable. And like when they were at the little horse thing and Beth was trying to hold his hand and he was like, no. And John was like, you can hold her hand. I know y'all been fucking. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh my God, they're so cute. And then a little proposal where she gave him the ring.
That was cute.
I kind of wanted some diamonds. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, that was cute.
But then he plans to give her his mom's ring. That I thought.
Okay, can we talk about that, please?
Hey.
Can we please talk about that?
This woman, she's been dead for what, good 20 years?
At least. A
she's
good
like just nice and.
Because the embalmer, remember the guy that opened up her grave? He was like, I'm
Eddie
hoping
did it.
Eddie did
Yeah,
the
yeah,
did
it
the
was Eddie.
embalming because it should be preserved. But if somebody else would have done it, she wasn't. There is no freaking way that I would ever want anyone to open up the grave and take the ring. Like when my mother died, she had on her wedding rings, and her wedding rings were supposed to go to my older son, and we couldn't get it off her finger. So I was like, "Don't leave it on her finger. He's just not getting that ring." There was no, don't cut her finger. Don't do no, because that, you know what I'm saying? Like I was so freaked out by the fact that he touched her dead, but I was like, oh my God. And then he slipped the ring on. I was like, ugh. And she was green. No. That was a crazy scene for me. I sped that scene up. I was like, no.
But to the extent that he loves Beth enough to be like, I want her to have something. Like the thought of it.
It's the thought of it was beautiful. The thought of it was beautiful. But I'm saying the actual act of going to a grave.
Off scene. That should have been off camera.
Yes.
That should have been off. Maybe he should have got the ring off camera and he's talking to her gravestone with the speech.
Right. Yes.
Right. But they're like, they put an actress in that thing.
But no, David, no, that wouldn't work because I know you. You'd have been like, it's like, well, I have so many questions. Did they have to take her? Did her finger crumble up? Was it just laying on top of it? Did he just pull it off? That would be crazy. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. You would have had those questions if all of a sudden they just jumped right to him having the ring from the grave.
To be retrospective to myself, if he was holding the ring and talking to the gravestone, right? I would have been okay with it. I would have been okay because I would be like, I mean, he got the. I would have because like if they would have shown the casket going down, they're putting the casket back in the ground. He's holding the ring. He's talking to the gravestone. Like that would have been a beautiful moment. He's like, Mom, because they like he's not talking to a corpse. You know what I'm saying? Like he's talking to the memory. Right at that point, like he's trying his best to remember his mom when she was alive and beautiful and that kind of stuff. Then I would have been okay with that. Like that should have been on camera at some level. That was a very personal moment for Rip to go that.
I felt like I was watching Creep Show. I was like, why? What is this? Like
that's because they kept on showing her. That's because they kept on showing
her, and I was like,
stop it. That's clearly again. That's clearly an actress that they had lay there, and they put some makeup and some CGI on her.
Yes,
like, she would not be that good. She would not be that well preserved. There's no fucking way.
No, I wouldn't say that. There are some bodies. Have you ever seen Autopsy? Yeah, there are some bodies. Like I watched the documentaries, a lot of them, right? And there are some bodies right now. I know this is off topic, but right now there is a nun, a Black nun, who actually is being they're considered for sainthood because they opened up her what is it called, a sarcophagus or whatever. She was in the church that she created, right? It was a church that she created, and they opened up her grave, and she looks exactly the same. She is exactly preserved, and that's why she's they're gonna have her they're trying to put her in for sainthood. Yes, because
Kim, that's just called God blessing you. This is I don't know what was so special about Rip's mama.
She's been in the grave for 30 years. Wow. I mean, and she's not the only one who has sainthood. There are plenty of other people who, when they open up the coffin, because what they do is they move the coffin from one place to the other, but they open it to see the person. So this has happened. Preachers have been, priests and nuns. This is a process.
Is it just for priests and nuns? Like if I die 30 years later, they dig me up. Can I be a saint?
Wait.
Yes, it is. It's a process. If you look it up, you'll see it's a process that they do, and that's why she's being considered. So it can happen
because she's being considered because she was intact.
No,
what would you?
No, because she's completely preserved. So that means that she's been chosen.
I hear you.
My God.
Black don't crack.
We gotta get to Jemani.
I'm about to say that. Yeah, I'm about to say Rip's mom ain't black, so you gotta come up with a different reason for her.
You look alien green to me.
Green don't crack. Jemani.
Okay. So like that was the big plot hole for me. Was all right. She proposes, and he's like, "Yeah, this isn't like we can go down to the court, and, have a ceremony, or anything, because I don't exist on paper." Right, so he does not exist.
That part.
Right, so he doesn't exist. Right, so that just negates everything from last season. Like He's supposed to have gotten his house. Did he really get a house? Because how can it be in his name if he doesn't exist?
It just
Because
says
it's John.
It's just a wink and a nod. It's not an actual official thing. I'm like, it's just a sentiment.
You don't have to worry
Like,
about that in season 4.
Thank you, Stacy. Okay.
Stacy
All right.
and David, what's up with both of y'all?
No. You thought I said something I didn't. That's your fault. Like you thought I said something I did not. I was talking about Casey. I was talking about Casey. Thank you.
Okay.
When I talk about run for governor. Anyway, Jamani. So your biggest problem was the fact, how does he not exist when apparently he exists? He exists.
Right. He was clearly born on this earth with a birth certificate.
I know he exists up until, they thought that, whether his father, he was one of the people in his household that was massacred by his father, or did he escape and is just out there? No one knows where he is, right? There's no record of him, after that particular date. I understand that. But I'm saying, if you're going to say, I'm willing you something, how does he then just all of a sudden, like, how are you putting him in probate to receive something, so to say?
It's John.
He has to have a driver's license, right?
He drives quite often, so he has to have a driver's license. And then, like,
what
he would, like I said, he was born. So John could have went, since he owns Bozeman, the city. Like he could went down to the records and be like, I want Rip's records because now he belongs to me. Like he's my property now, and I need his birth certificate. So like. He just didn't show up on the doorstep like Moses, like what I'm saying, like you know where he comes from, what I'm saying. I was like, it didn't make a lot of sense.
Was Moses on a doorstep? Okay,
well, you know what I'm saying.
He was in a basket or something.
He was in a basket down the river, right?
The Nile River.
But he
exactly
came up on land in essence, like a doorstep. Anyway, all right, I hear you. Chris, any thoughts on this situation?
Okay, with the wedding and marriage thing. Yeah, no, I actually thought that was a really good moment. I love the moment where, in true Beth's fashion, she just told Rip, she's like straight up like you being with me is the end of you and your legacy, in the sense of like basically like I can't have kids. And he's like, and then I was like, man, it's a tearjerker, because he's like, I don't need no one else. And the last thing I need is another Rip running around here or whatever. I was like, damn. I was like, man, this is like one of those romance novels. Okay. I was like, you know what I mean? So I like that moment. I did like the fact that he did grab his mom's ring. That was very special. You know what I mean? And and even though he had there's times he gets pissed off at Lloyd and shit like that. That's his ride or die right there. That's his OG.
Oh yeah,
so,
he loves him. Yeah.
Even though, man, I don't know. I got mixed feelings about the treatment of that and Lloyd and whatnot. But anyway, but yeah, I thought that was like well done, and I like the fact that John, like Beth called it, as far as saying that Rip would not ask John. No, Rip is scared, would be too scared to ask John for his hand in marriage, so she did it instead with John. Very unconventional, but only Beth could get away with it. If this was anybody else and it was like a woman proposing to a guy, I'd be like, yo, what the hell? But it kind of made sense here. I was like, okay, they get a pass from me on this one. This one kind of made sense. I was like, women
have been doing that for a while now.
Yeah,
women
trust me. I guarantee you,
them.
if you pull those men in another room and you tell them privately, and ask them like, did you like that shit? Like, nah, fuck that. Like, no. Like, nah, man. Like,
I'm just saying, women are doing it every day nowadays.
Oh, they better stop. They better stop.
What's going to happen?
They're like, well, divorce rates are going up. I see. So I'm just saying.
Wait a minute. So you're going to get a divorce? Wait. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. You get a divorce because you were proposing to a man who probably was not ready yet. That's the thing too. It's always men that are not ready, right? So why were you going to propose? We all know that women are more ready.
Why are you getting married?
Then why are you proposing then? Then don't propose if you don't.
So if someone proposes to you, doesn't mean you have to marry them.
Yeah, the problem is you do that in front of thousands of people. You think I'm just going to be like, oh no, you're in front of like mom, dad, auntie, and whatever, and just be like, sure, okay.
Well, women say no all the time, like they do.
And a lot of them don't, and unfortunately don't last very long. I'm just saying.
Can we
You know
stay
what I mean?
focused on the show, please?
I was
We got a lot of ground to cover. We got a lot of ground
Yeah,
to cover.
that should be
Okay,
another
yeah,
topic. We
sorry,
should
sorry,
do another
sorry.
Zoom on that one, David.
Perhaps,
Sorry about that.
perhaps we will put that
Sorry.
in the bucket of who
Sorry.
proposes to who. All right. So anything else for Beth and Rip?
Yes.
No, that's it. That's it for Rip.
Well,
All right.
I guess we already talked about the house.
Yeah. That
I just thought it was touching when
It
when she
was.
was reading the will, and he's like,
Oh yeah.
that last line again.
Say it
Call me
again.
his son.
So again, you're like, Rip, you like the son that I should have had, and you're having sex with my daughter. It's fine. Like it's okay. I'm like, let's not do that then. Let's not dwell on the son thing. But I at this season, this is why I said I would see a Beth and Rip spinoff. Like this should have been their show, and John just happens to be there. Like I love both of them so much that I'm like, I would watch them and their adventure.
David, them, and one other character who they have not revealed yet. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I said character. What the hell are you talking about?
I hear you, and yes. I hear you, and yes.
Ain't no spoilers. You and Stacey revealed actual spoilers.
We will get to.
There's no context to what I'm saying.
Anyway,
There's no context.
We will. The story is not.
Imani, me and you are completely out of this conversation.
Exactly. They don't know what I'm talking about, David.
What are you talking about?
Their story develops, and it's still going.
Stacey seen it all. She don't know what I'm talking about. So there ain't no spoilers.
Anyway, but as I said, Beth and Rip have much more story to tell, and I will continue to watch them. Like they became the anchor for me. Like in this season, I was like, well, let's see what's going on with them. And it was great. So he can.
I enjoyed Rip and Beth, and I enjoyed Casey and Monica. I think both.
Yeah, can we talk about that love story?
Oh, ain't you already chose the topic, dude?
Hold up.
Huh?
We'll go around again. We'll go one more time again. But now it's Chris's turn. Chris is gonna pick a topic.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
Chris,
Chris,
my topic is the ladies they introduced in this season, from the barrel riders, all the crazy ass barrel riders.
Okay.
To the and replacing the beautiful Avery with another beautiful lady, Teeter. I wanted to say I thought introducing the barrel rider, especially for in the sense of Jimmy's story, I thought was really worthwhile. Was it Maya? I guess her name is. Unfortunately, he did not want to listen to what Lloyd was saying, saying like they could be a distraction. Do not just chill out. And what do you know? She winds that distraction caused him not to pay attention, and he winds up nearly breaking his own back. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
And however, it also caused him to lose his virginity. That is such a thing you see. Such a porno movie. That is such a porno movie.
That was rape. Okay.
That was straight up a porno.
He did not consent to that.
No, okay, whatever. But but secretly, a lot of men like that, and that's why I know why they put that scene in there, because that's the thing that a lot of men like the whole time. They don't want to admit it, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean. But that is a niche, and probably 85% of men's porn searches is hospital bed sex, right? And I was like, oh, I know why they put this shit in there. I was like, damn. I was like, really? A barrel rider riding the shit out of Jimmy? Okay, all right. I see that. You know what I mean? And another thing too is the idea of girls harassing men, which in that sense was Teeter. Teeter all in her mumble jumble, mush mouth ass, it's like, come on, Colby, come on, mama, Colby. Like, come on, go get some tutors from Louisville. I was like, damn. First I was like, yo, that's harassment. But then the more I watched, I was like, damn, that's low-key kind of hot. Holy shit. So I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh shit.
It's all messed up.
Yeah. It was all messed up. I was like, damn, I do like the fact that it is kind of funny that Colby was like, God damn, not dealing with her again. And then at the end, with them almost getting trampled to death, he he did like Sebastian said with Mermaid and kissed the girl. You know what I mean? So so I thought having those additions, especially with Teeter, I think is a great thing to add, especially seeing how Avery just disappeared straight up.
Yeah, does she come back? I mean, can you guys answer that? Yes. Does she come back?
Yeah.
Okay.
She
does.
Cool. It gets addressed, sort of.
Yeah, because I was like, what the hell? They haven't said anything about her.
Well, I mean, in real life, she was doing it's like a kid show or a kids or kids movie or whatnot. And she thought, I guess the stuff that they had written in her thing, they originally was going to have her to be the love interest to Jimmy originally. And she thought the stuff that they thought they were going to probably have her do was going to mess up her chances of getting a role. So she
I
she
see.
basically quit.
Okay.
So she quit the role. She quit the role.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
wow. Okay.
You know,
Okay, I got you.
It would have been her riding him in the hospital.
I'm assuming, you know, because if you watch the last season and the way like her and Jimmy
Yeah.
was talking,
They
it
were
was
flirting.
definitely a
They
setup.
were flirting.
It was
Yeah.
definitely set up like they were going to be the that was the love interest there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
They had to give him somebody.
Yeah, so they switched it up, and then you know, but no, I think Teeter, the addition of Teeter is I think is hilarious, especially when you hear that actress and the other interviews. I mean, obviously she don't sound like that in real life, but it's just so funny, just like looking at her face, like, damn, you're Teeter, and you don't, damn, but then you just say it's like, well, get the fuck out here, you some bitches, I'm gonna get somebody to her, and I'm like,
Her accent is out of control. It is
there's
so
some people, there's some people like that though. They got that.
yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I have cousins
So
who
that's
sound like that. Yes.
All right. All right. So
and they're from Georgia and they sound like that. Yes. So
Stacy.
I'm sorry, it's my own cousins. I can say how they sound, and they do. They sound just like that lady, Teeter.
Stacy, the introduction of the barrel racers in general, just women, the women of the new women of the season. What do you think?
I wasn't a fan. I'm still not a fan. I don't like Maya. I think she's full of shit. The blonde chick, like, what is her goal? Like, first she was the old man, now you got Walker. What is the point of any of this?
Chlamydia.
I like that. I like that. They become relatively relevant as the seasons go on.
Okay.
They do. They do. But what?
Only one of them does. What you talking about?
I think we will see. We'll see. But anything else?
For the girls, yeah, that's all I got for them.
All right, Jemai.
That I don't.
What you say?
It was. I
say
found a lot of
bitch?
medical.
I thought you said tits. Did you say tits?
No, he didn't. I hope he didn't. I was like, it wasn't that many.
No,
So,
no,
what?
no.
Wait a minute, Chris.
Wait.
He malfunctioned.
He was like titty. No. What's up, Jemai? What's up?
Okay, so I just found a lot of medical inconsistencies with this, with that whole situation.
Okay.
And it was like, what's Jamie's girlfriend's name?
Maya.
She comes.
Maya, yeah.
Maya. Yeah. She comes in right after the removal of a catheter.
Yes.
And then proceeds to get romantic with it, get sex with him. And I'm like, that's just like a medical impossibility in the close proximity of those two things happening. But okay, we'll just go with the whole fantasy.
It wasn't done on the same day, Jamani.
Huh?
It wasn't done on the same day.
It actually was.
Yes, it was
right after that.
Immediately after.
Within minutes.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Definitely have
horny.
blood. There would be some blood, and he wouldn't be doing that. His penis would be a little sore.
Maybe it was cut. Maybe they cut it and they were like, maybe we'll say that for the DVD, Blu-ray or something. Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So medical.
And I'm like, how did he like? He is like, is he from or something? Because like he healed like when John Dutton was reading the list of all these injuries.
Yeah.
And then he's just walking. Like, I'm just like, how is this? Like he doesn't have a cane, a limp, or he's just.
He has a slow limp, but it's not really a limp. You know,
Monty, I would have believed all this. To your point, Jamani, I would believe all this if he had an arm sling. Okay, an arm sling would have sold it.
That would have sold it. That
would have sold it. I would have been like, okay, I buy it.
So that's it. So that's it.
But no arm sling, I don't buy it.
Yeah, I'm like, he was in tracks and he had the neck collar and everything.
Right.
And then he just, I was just like, how are you not in a wheel? Like, it's just, it didn't make any sense. Like, he's now debating going back to, he has this little speech with Maya about how he's scared. I'm like, yeah. The only reason why the audience doesn't necessarily see him as being scared, or Maya doesn't see him being scared, because they didn't make him be as injured as he actually is on paper.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And I'm like, so they trample
Teeter,
Hosley and Cody, to Teeter and Kobe. And now, so they saw something and now they get branded as opposed to, so it's, you see, instead of see something, say something, you see something, you get branded, as opposed to if you're a convict or something like that, you get branded and earn your loyalty or trust into the brand. Like, so the brand shifts every season. Is that where we're at with that now?
Yes.
Well, it's for criminals in the sense, right? So when they were all accomplices to murder, that's why they got the brand to say you will not talk about the murder that we all participated in, which is why they got branded. Jimmy got branded because, again, he was a criminal to begin with, right? Walker got branded because he was a criminal to begin with, right? But the only one that doesn't make a lot of sense is Casey's. Like he did, again, unless it's a story that we haven't seen yet. I'm like, what crime did he commit that he has to be branded? And I'm like,
is mixing of blood is that the
and
crime?
again, my brother tried to pull that. John is not that kind of racist. Like he's in no way ever has he expressed anything to that level. And he would not be doting on his grandson. Like all of this is gonna go to him. You know what I'm saying?
Because that's his legacy. And if
no,
he had a
David,
issue
don't
with
they-
that
they
question-
explain it later on.
No. He started doting when he thought he had cancer. So he thought he was on the brink of death. Before that, they were very much estranged.
because Casey wouldn't bring the child
that was
to
Casey.
him.
That was Casey's
That was Casey.
perspective because of the supposed abortion conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like John
Exactly.
tried first episode, he was carving Tate's name into some wood that we never saw again of the I guess the male heirs or some shit.
Yeah.
Like he wanted a relationship with his grandson. So I'm like, again, we don't know Casey's branding story. That I don't.
We will though.
And they're cutting out the brand just like on Sons of Anarchy. I'm like, so this is this
that's good. That's good. I forgot about that. Yeah. That was hardcore. Kim, anything for the women? I think we're still on the women right now. Oh,
yes.
On women.
How did you lose track? Yeah. So Teeter, her whole the accent got on my nerves. The spitting of the nicotine, it just grossed me out. I think that is
really?
the most disgusting habit that men have most of the time. But she's, of course, a woman, and I'm not saying she shouldn't be doing it, but it's the most disgusting thing to see. I remember I used to go to see the Mets and go to see a Yankee Stadium and see the Yankees, and they would just spit it on the field. I was like, this is gross. But anyway, so yeah.
I got used to it. Having a family that was in the military, I got used to it. So
it's just gross.
My great grandmother used to do it.
Really? It's just
I supervisor used to do it at work, and it would be like a cup of brown stuff sitting on the desk, and I'd be like,
yes.
Yeah. David will tell you. I actually work with a couple of people that have that still. So the bottles they'll sit there.
Really,
David, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. They're former Marines. I'll just say that.
I got you.
It's just gross to me. But anyway, so that turned me off. Her voice turned me off, but then that turned me off. But I understand, her character, right? It's fine. Her and Colby be together or whatever. But anyway, that whole Maya, I didn't trust her when she first came on screen. I was like, she's trying to do something. I felt like she was trying to like sabotage John, or she worked for one of John's enemies or something. I didn't trust her. I still kind of don't, because I feel like she's pushing Jimmy to do this rodeo thing. And Jimmy he hurt himself like really bad. And John being there for him and saying, look, I can pay for this one, but I'm not paying again. Like, and then Lloyd saying, do what your heart tells you to do. I'm like, he's getting so many mixed signals, and he's not the strongest mind guy, right? So he's kind of like, I don't know who I should listen to. But of course you listen to, the woman that's, servicing you right now. And now he's laying on the ground, and we don't even know if he's paralyzed or what. Why would you get on that bull knowing that you have all these injuries that have not healed yet? And then you get on there, he could have snapped his back. Like, we don't know. You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't trust Maya. And then the chick with the blonde hair, I don't know her name. But when your slutty ass goes from one man to the other in the same goddamn room, you are disgusting, miss. There's chlamydia. Lloyd's probably got to go to the doctor. because he's got chlamydia, and so does Walker.
No, or
Huh?
did this happen later on?
What?
Lloyd
Yeah,
said he never had sex with her.
No, he did. No, he no. She. They. Yeah. To Stacey's point, they never had sex. Like she was just nice to have around. But because even he said, I can't. I can't really do this. But she.
Oh,
was
I thought they eventually did have sex.
No.
No,
Oh.
there was a lot of flirting though. There was a lot
Yeah.
of-
Okay,
He enjoyed,
okay.
he enjoyed
Well,
the
my
company and the
bad.
flirting.
Maybe
But still,
it's-
but still, your point though. That's some shady shit.
Yeah,
And
that's
It
some
is.
really shady shit.
that's please let's put a pin in that. Like we will let's put a pin in that.
Okay.
Yes.
I would like to say that Jimmy is Jamie had he not been adopted.
Huh?
Hmm?
How
Wait,
so?
what do you mean?
If Jamie had never been adopted, he would be Jimmy.
Oh,
Make a bad
I
decision.
got it.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, I see.
Got it.
I
Jamie
see.
would ended up
Okay.
like Jimmy.
Sure.
Got it.
Because they're both little bitches. So
And both
Yeah.
involved, and both families involved, well, both involved with the drug situations, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and his dad said the same thing. I mean, Jamie's dad said you would end up, in jail or in prison or murdered or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I see that. Anything else?
And somehow Jimmy is in somewhat of a better shape. Well, up until that last episode, was in a better shape than Jamie was. So
Until
no, because he had men protecting him.
yes,
Rip took him in, and Casey protected him too.
yeah, but his woman, like it was like his baby mama or whatever, that girl who just left him or whatever, like she ain't there to protect him.
Yeah,
Baby
Christina.
mama, yeah.
But she,
Christina,
what,
yeah.
She was Maya.
Will she come back? Does she come back?
yes,
She does. Okay.
David.
That's just that's a fair question. I mean, it's a fair question. It's a fair question. So
All right. I won't ask any advanced questions, Chris. I'm sorry.
All right. Anything else?
No. I thought that was I understand why they did it, right? To kind of give the guys something to do and fun and all that stuff. But I feel like there's something going on. I feel like Maya is something bad is gonna happen. And the blonde chick is just there for the ride because she likes riding penis. So she's just there. Whoever's available, she's gonna ride, right? So yeah, I don't trust.
Give him credit. Walker is better looking than Lloyd.
Yeah, Walker. His singing. Oh my gosh, beautiful.
It's the guitar.
And he's gorgeous. He's like a really good looking guy. So I enjoyed him. And I was like, okay, girl, get it, with Walker. But the old guy was kind of like,
Yeah.
So I would say as we would just add to additional women to the show. I think I like one of the things in all the show, a lot of strong women.
Oh, Angela, something like
Well,
that.
no, just strong women in general, but all the women pick their lovers. Like they are in charge of these situations, and I think that was a conscious effort. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not victims of, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed by this man. Like they all are pretty much in control of their relationships.
Yeah, because Monica knows what Casey is, and she's like, I love him anyway.
Right?
She's trying to act like she don't understand who she is.
No.
So
What?
Well, Monica.
She said that Monica knows where he is, and I'm like, that was proven to be incorrect because
who
when Rainwater showed her that newspaper clip, and she didn't know anything about that.
I know, no, but after she found out, when they did the shower scene, she was upset with Casey because he didn't tell her, right? But she still chose Casey. She still moved on with Casey. So even though they both lied to each other, she knows what Casey is. He did lie to her. She lied to him. They still got together and did the shower scene. Basically, we know what happened when he was hugging her, right? So I'm just saying, Monica chooses Casey every single time, no matter whether he lies to her or not.
Or kills her brother or whoever gets fucked.
Yes, whatever it is, she chooses him.
Well, I mean, Teeter, the woman that Walker met in the bar, like it's always the women who kind of initiates most of the time the relationship.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of for a very
true.
manly show. Like women are like in control of a lot of these situations. And then I was gonna talk about Willa Mays, who's leading the equity firm. You know what I'm saying? Like her situation. And then Angela
Woodward. Yeah.
Blue Thunder. So like her, like there's a lot of very strong women because in the end, it's the women, it's them two and Beth are like fighting it out, in the end. And I like that. I like that. Like and they all have a role, you know what I'm saying? In the situation. So not believe
Yeah, Taylor Sheridan is good with strong female characters. If you look at like Sons of Anarchy, like all the women in that show, basically, you know what I mean? You know, all of his stuff that he like. If you watch interviews with him, he don't like the idea of just kind of keeping the stereotype of like certain victims just stay victims. He'll make it where like people might be a victim, but then they become strong. You know what I mean? Strong as a character.
Yeah, because in Mayans,
like
did you watch Mayans? Have you watched that?
Yeah, well, not all of it, but most of it, yes.
But okay, so you saw. Remember when the Indian, well, not Indian, I'm sorry, the Native American, when she actually became a drug addict. The one that I can't remember the guy, the real skinny guy is her boyfriend.
The lead.
But anyway, she had become a drug addict, and she was like in this trailer park area, and they came and rescued her. And she, even though she was on drugs and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about, right? And he had the daughter. And the daughter was got close to her and stuff like that. They changed her, even though she was a drug addict, she still became strong again. Like they allowed her character to, you know, get over the drugs and become a strong character again. So whenever if they show a woman down, he does write that character to come back up, like to pull herself up and don't be a victim. You know,
even like the groups of people, like in everything you see when it comes to like Native Americans, they're always seen as like the victims are always asking for help. No, man, he got Rainwater and his crew. Well, plenty like even when you watch stuff like 1888, 1883, and 1923, they ain't no damn victims. Like they might say like, yo, that's our land, but they ain't no freaking victims. Like they like come and grab shit. You know what I mean? You know, so
we will get to those in time.
It's like the women,
but
just like the women. I was coming full circle, David. Just like the women. There you go. So I linked it. Okay. So, but I mean, so even with this strong women, Angela is the one that comes in and kind of saves the day in the end. It's Angela, it's Willa, and Beth kind of sitting there. The governor and Jamie are sitting there, and when it looks like John's going to lose the land, you know, it's Angela who's like, well, what about the environmental impacts? And now we got a class action lawsuit. And John didn't say shit. Like he's standing there watching Beth and the women do everything. And even Tom is sitting there like, I guess. And in the end, they're like, Angela's like in the car going, I did this shit, but you need to stand up, like put some balls on you, chief, and let's go to war and get our land back. And that kind of goes to my topic of who done it. So we see that the Duttons were attacked, Casey was attacked, John was attacked, Beth was attacked. The question is, who did it? And
Sawyer from Lost.
Yeah, I mean, David. This ain't no Scooby Doo. We know
Rourke. It's Rourke. I'm sorry. I think it's Rourke. That's my opinion.
It's Sawyer.
I hear you. Yeah. So, the show gives us 3 viable suspects. So in order, it will be Jamie's dad, who said, if you don't ask for a empire, you kill the king and take the empire. So that's one suspect. You got Angie Blue Thunder, who tells Tom Rainwater, we need to go to war. Let your warrior Mo go to war so we can get our land back and go home. So that's the second suspect. And then finally, you got Willa Hayes, who tells the dude from Lost, we got to treat this like a oil deal in Yemen. And then so they kind of gave this kind of 3. So I'm gonna leave it at that and say, for who hasn't watched it, so Kim, you haven't finished watching. You say it's who?
I think it's Rourke, and so that's the person I think it is. Doesn't mean it is that person, but that's who I think it is. Wait, is Angela the black woman?
No, it's the
Native American lawyer. Yeah. In the car.
Oh, her. Okay. Yeah, I would say second. It would be her. Yeah, I would say she's a close second to Rourke. Yeah, and then the third person, you know what? Can we even put Linnell in there, the governor? Because that bitch. Yeah. I was so disappointed in her when she was there. I'm like, look, you are banging John. I have no sympathy for him at all.
I actually love that. I actually love the fact she's like, despite the dick, I gotta do what's better for my state. You know what I'm saying? Because everything else John runs.
Well, then she needs to get off the penis. She needs to leave John's penis alone.
She was like, look, guess who's gonna be the attorney general? She was like, guess who's gonna be the livestock commissioner? My whole damn family. And don't say nothing. And she's like, yes, daddy. But this time she was like, I gotta choose my state. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm trying to stay in office, right? Like, so I like the fact she can separate, sex from work.
And from a business perspective, at that point, he was going to lose the land.
Everything.
Angela was just the only one.
Well, yeah, because if Angela wouldn't have said that she was going to do this class action lawsuit, John was done.
Yeah,
John was done. But that's why he let the women talk. He let the women talk.
I was watching the Dirty D for a second. When Jamie was like, your power of attorney is in Utah and my power of attorney is in Montana, I was like, oh God, here we go.
Think about that.
Whose paper is bigger? It was like, what?
But you saw Beth's face though. Beth
wanted to climb over
because she's not a lawyer.
Because she's not a lawyer. And she was like, you right.
I'm a lawyer.
And she was like, oh damn it. She was like, oh, you right. Jamani, don't be guilty knowledge if you know the answer. If you don't know the answer, who do you think did it?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't watched past episode 310. So
you don't need to.
I think it's no. I'm just saying that
No, I mean that was for
I haven't
David.
either.
That was for David, really. This is like because that black woman kind of basically gave Rourke like unlimited leash, saying
right.
Just give him unlimited.
I actually watched it.
Let Jamani answer. Let Jamani answer. Jamani, like,
yeah, I think it's Sawyer from Lost. I'm like, I think that
Thank you, Jamani.
He stayed back from in that meeting when people started to leave.
Yeah,
he stayed back. So I'm like, I foresee that he must have had some sort of conversation with Jamie, because that's like the only anomaly that's there is when Rick called him and he said, I can't get anybody. He said, well, you shouldn't call this number anymore. I was like, why is he saying that now?
I didn't get that either. So maybe he got a new daddy. He's like, I don't need the Duns no more. I mean, I don't know. All right. So your vote is the equity firm. All right. So I'm sorry. Market equity. There you go. Got it. Stacey, what is your vote?
My vote was for Jamie at first.
But what's your vote?
Thought it was who?
Jamie.
You said at first, or did you change your vote?
Let's say no.
Let's say no. All right. Chris. Yeah, Chris don't get an answer, and I'll get an answer. So we will do one more round of topics. So Kim, what's anything else you want to discuss for this season?
Oh, let's see. I would
the ending.
I'm trying to think. What is the deal with? I know they killed him already, but the guy that Rourke hired, the old guy, the cowboy, they used to work for him. I really want to know what happened between them. Like, did anybody understand what happened between them? I didn't get that.
Wait, say that again. Who?
The guy, Zane. I guess his name was Zane.
They hung and they cut the brand off.
They cut the brand off of him, and John, because John was like, he has something of mine, and I want you to take it. He touched that to Rip, and they go and they cut it off, and then they hang him. Yeah. But I'm like, who is this guy? They had clearly John has hired this guy because he said, I gave you a job and and then he went to jail. Of course, the guy said he went to jail. He was like, your girlfriend in jail, something John said to him or whatever. And I was like, but what happened? Like, why did this guy go to jail? What happened? Did John put him in jail because he did something to John? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love to know.
We need a spin off of that. I said we
need
to spin off. I don't think
we need a whole spin off of just him, but yeah.
I'm talking about what happened like 30 years prior. Yeah, I'm talking about 30 years prior.
I want to know what happened.
Yellowstone 1990s. Yellowstone 1990s.
Yeah.
I was like,
I think we went over all the major things. I don't really feel like there's anything out there that we didn't go over.
We got to go in order. Jamani, anything for you?
Well, kind of two things. One is the little like Freddie Gray situation, but what I really want to talk about is the
I forgot about that.
But what I really want to talk about is like the dances with wolves. Like what exactly is this relationship with Casey and Monica? Because I'm like, they're like Chris mentioned romance novels, and I'm like, it's like they're trying to make this they're forcing it to be a romance novel when it doesn't need to be, because it's like there's no reason why they should just be
In love.
basically trying to have. Why are they having sex in the woods and in front of wolves? And it's like the stuff that she says is like crazy. Is well, both of them say it's crazy. He says, well, he just wants to watch, so let's just keep going. What? And then then when it happens again, she's like, don't, I'm gonna kill it. She's, don't you ever stop making love to me to kill something. Okay. What? Like it is like, who writes this stuff?
Well, I just think they're in love. I actually like their love story. I think, I just thought it was weird that they have sex anywhere and everywhere. And I just felt like Tate had run in one direction, right? And now his parents are having sex. So when he comes back, he's gonna see them having sex. And then the ranch hands are all over the place, and they're still having sex.
No, it's about there's a wolf. Like, who is doing this in front of?
Yeah, but you have to remember, wolves.
The shower scene, fine. You're indoors, everything like that. Let's put aside that she's been in this house for like multiple years by now, and she's still claiming to. I got lost. I don't know where the staircase from. If I come out of the kitchen is like that make believe crap or whatever. But she leaves she leaves Tate with the grandfather, with John, after blaming him for him getting abducted and having him take him to a remote part of the ranch away from her. She's like, that will be good for him to have for the summer. I'm like, that wasn't what you were saying the last episode. In episode 10 of season 2. I'm like, it's just it's all over the place. You cannot binge watch this show because it's like there's no continuity.
I like that. I forgot about that.
Well, I think with the whole wolf thing, I think they view like wolves like dogs, right? Like a dog who's just in the wilderness. I feel like Monica doesn't have a fear of the wolf, because actually it's indigenous people or Native Americans. They see there's a certain thing that they see in wolves it's not, unless the wolf is attacking you. It's like, just leave it alone. It's one of, they belong in the woods. We're actually invading their space, right? So that's why I think Monica doesn't care about the wolf. She didn't get a feeling like the wolf was going to attack them. So she was like, let's just continue and let him watch. If he doesn't like it, he'll walk, he'll run away, right? I'm sorry, that's what I feel. So I don't.
It's still. I mean, you're right. I hear you. But also, it didn't make no damn sense. Like, it looked cool, but it didn't make no damn sense.
Right, exactly. But the show. If you're trying to another show that everybody's trying to make sense, John was able to get people off and out of jail and off of these situations with no blowback at all. Like, why are we trying to make sense out of this little thing when people are murdering people every episode?
And don't forget,
nobody says anything.
Kim, don't forget, John didn't get a second opinion when it came to his medical issue. Okay.
What's up, Stacey?
Cliff that people get thrown off and nobody ever finds them. So
nobody even. Exactly.
And John is dying.
At least
guys, I have a question.
They explained that this episode.
I was actually going to bring.
But did you think that Walker? Well, I thought when Walker threw the body over, when he was with Lloyd and he threw the body over and he had so many questions.
Yes.
I was like, Walker is working for somebody.
Like he is, I'm like, he's undercover. Like, that's a very specific question. I was like, so how many bodies you got over there? Like, just talk directly.
Yes, that's what I saw.
Directly into my hat. I'm like, Lloyd, stop this truck and throw his happy ass over that fucking thing, because he is working for somebody. Like, he asked that question, especially someone who's like, I don't want to be involved. This ain't my shit. All of a sudden, he's like, so how many years have you been dropping bodies here?
Yes.
But
and it's going to be Casey's fault.
But I'm saying they found him. He didn't find them again. They picked him up. So I'm like, it would be, I just find it, if he is, and we find out he's an informant in the future, that is another plot hole, because they accosted him. It was like there was no way
get
he
you.
could have
Yeah.
predicted
Yeah.
that
He
they
would be
were going to
brought
come
back.
into that bar
He'd be brought
and that
back
they
to
were,
Yellowstone.
yeah.
But see, but this whole I'm on parole.
That's why he should've left.
That's why I can't leave the state. I'm like, where's your parole officer? Like that motherfucker supposed to show up and be like, where is your appointment? Let me see where you live. Let me make sure you're not hanging out with other known
Well,
criminals.
he could have said he was on the John. He's still on John's farm.
And he's never been to said farm. So I'm saying
But Montana isn't just like Montana isn't just a 5-mile radius. Okay, like he could have gone to the. If I was him, he literally dodged a bullet. He should have went to the other side of Montana.
He should have just went to
Because
Wyoming.
no joke, because there was no way they would have found him. I'm sorry, they just went.
They
So they
don't
just went to this random little bar, and then that. Oh shit, he's performing. It's like, oh shit, they caught me meddling kids.
I know what you guys are saying, but I still feel like there's something there.
I hear you
because he was so specic about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Kim. Like
it's not gonna make sense.
He's very suspicious.
He is. He's shady. He's shady as fuck, man. And he can't be trusted. Like I don't give a damn. He just skinned the person. Like he can't be trusted. Like how you know they didn't give him immunity just to bring down fucking the Dutton Ranch? Also,
right.
The mayor of Bozeman.
Huh?
Exactly. Who's the mayor of Bozeman? It's a city.
I have no idea.
Exactly. And my point is like it's John Dutton. Like they go from ranch to governor. Like Casey is about to run for governor because he shot.
Wasn't that weird though?
Like
that doesn't make sense.
Like you should be running for mayor, not to be like you run.
Do you see how big the livestock agents are? They're bigger than CIA. So yes, he can run for governor.
They run the state. They just mad murderers, like all of them. They just ramp up, get the weapons, they go in hard. I'm like, he runs. I'm like, this don't make any kind of sense. Like,
no, but they say that about everybody who holds that office because when Jamie, after he did his little, after he comes to the father, to say, come and water down or clean the back of the trailer out. He's like, you did that? You should run for governor. I'd vote for you. So I'm like, everybody who holds his office.
That's right. They're like, wow, you killed these? Yes, I did. Well, you should run for governor. I'm like, God damn, like who?
I know, David. I haven't seen anyone go up in power this fast since Tate did in power. All right, like Jesus, like this is.
My head hurts. My head, like I'm like you just again. You ask like, how can John do all this shit in town? Because he's also the mayor. He's the livestock commissioner. He's the mayor. Apparently, he's the warden. Like and all because they got a helicopter. Where the fuck is that helicopter?
And because he's rich.
I was like, but he's like, I'm not rich. I just got a huge ass fucking ranch that apparently covers the entire city. Because it's all mine. Because somebody said, Dan was like, why can't you just buy my stuff? I can't. I'm not rich.
No. How the hell is Beth an instant stock trader that can bid against a $1 billion a company that is owned by billionaires? They're injecting billions of dollars, and she's shorting the company by herself.
Yeah,
and she's representing that company though. And then she got that other guy.
How are you not able to save the ranch?
It's not her money. It's that other guy's money.
It's that other guy's money.
Yeah. Remember, she was actually borrowing.
It's her boss. Her boss.
Yeah.
But how did the I can't remember the black woman's name, but she was able to buy it from the guy, like the whole company.
Well, she represents the equity firm, which is far bigger.
And she bought it back really low, so she can get a bunch of it, and that's how she got majority shares.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But again, that's why I think Chris said this is like billions on horseback or a Succession. Like this is Succession with some cowboys hanging people from time to time. Like that's and I'm like, because Beth is all like about the boardroom, and I like how she stays in her lane. Like you never see her just whip out the fucking gat and shoot like 3 people. Like no. Like she talks her way through shit. Like she's vicious, but she's vicious in appropriate ways. I would say.
Yeah.
There was a smidge bit of Lost in this episode too, and I don't just mean because Sawyer was in it. I mean, remember when John was talking to Tate when the campfire? Remember they took Tate out to the woods. So I mean, just to kind of get his mind free after what happened last season. he said he had a dream. He told Tate, like, I had a dream that I was helping some people off of the side of the road, but then they wanted something else. And then ironically, at the end of the season, we see him helping from when I thought the girl was going to turn around and like, bah, 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 bah,
That's what I thought too.
I thought
exactly the same
I thought the kid was
Yeah.
going. I thought the kid was running out in the sense of so the kid doesn't see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Where's
but I thought I was like,
Where's
so
that
he
kid?
he has premonitions now. I was like, is he John Locke from Lost? I was like, this is what we're doing. I was like, I was waiting for Sawyer to pop up. I was like, hey, I was like, this is the wrong show. This is my show.
I mean, it's better now.
And of course he gets saved by a cell phone like that. Like I got saved by technology, and I'm a cowboy. That figures.
Damn it.
I'm like,
Yeah, and that's what happened in Laws. What homie got saved by the drugs that was in that statue of Mary, that miniature statue inside the pocket. That's what saved his life.
Oh.
And I was like, wow. Okay.
all I can say is Beth better be dead because she was 6 feet away from a bomb that made cars.
Yeah, she better be
Clearly
dead.
not.
'Cause that makes no sense if she's still alive.
I was like, sometimes you
Yo,
gotta
but
watch.
Tate all messed up in the head, all of a sudden gangster. You know what I mean? But you know, he's effed up even more now because he's now caught.
Let's keep watching. Let's keep watching, Chris. Because I did the same thing. So like, let's not do it. So we will see how things progress in season 4 for Peoples. We don't know what's going on with Tate and Monica. We do know Casey's getting gunned down. We do know Beth got blown up and John is bleeding on the side of the street. And Rip just shot a horse. So everybody got shit going on.
He cried. He cried for about. This is what I hate about humans, right? Like especially humans on social media. We will cry about animals before we cry about other humans. This man like, I swear I will not put down another horse.
I kill.
And then meanwhile, you kill all kinds of niggas. Like
They
nah,
deserve it.
stop the cap, man.
I don't know, but such word is
Just
not
literally stop the cap, dude. Just stop it. So I'm just like,
all right, guys. That is the video. We gotta get to from. So we thank you guys very much for watching and joining us in the chat. We're gonna move on to a good show also called From. As much as I love them, fuck Chris and Stacy for the thumbs down. We will see them next weekend. Kim, we shall continue on. I'm gonna cut them off right now because I don't appreciate them doing this like this. But next week we're gonna do Yellowstone season 4. We're gonna keep on rolling through this. We're gonna come back for that. So please hold. Also, Wilfred Johnson. I don't know what a super sticker is, so that's probably why you can't put it on my thing. I don't know what that is.
Super chat, but it's
That you can do that on StreamYard. You're not going to be able to do it on Zoom.
Thank you very
It's
much.
where they give you money for they
thank
want
you.
to add a comment and they give you some money.
Thank you very much. I thank you, but I don't want donations. I feel weird about it, so it's fine. But it just hang out with us. It's fine. It's fine.
treat
That's
yourself.
fine. I'm not here for the money. I love y'all, and that's why I do. But
Send it to CEG 1483.
Yeah, K5.
That's CEG 1483.
my team
You're
also
doing
will not be does not find
Yes.
that.
Let me change my thing, take my cash.
Yeah, I need
know,
to
right?
change mine too. Let me update
I know, right?
it.
David ain't gonna take advantage. I will.
No, man, but I do appreciate the thought. But anyway, like I said, you two hang out. I'll see you next weekend. Average Joe, remember that? Let's put that a pin in that one. We're gonna check that one out. Comes on tomorrow. But we were doing it on the weekend.
Is that a movie?
Cole.
No, it's
Dion Cole.
Dion Cole.
And
Yeah.
show
Dion
that
Cole.
Plus. Yeah. I'll send the trailer back out just so you can check it out.
Okay.
Over
Yeah, I
there.
might check that out. I
It's
like
not,
Dion.
look, they got legit. I think it's gonna be legit. I got faith.
Okay.
In it. I think it's gonna be legit.
it is BET Plus though.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's
And
not.
it is the Old Spice guy. I mean, but you know,
I like to see him in a dramatic role. I think it's going to be all the Queensmen. Thank you, DeMarcus. All the Queensmen does come back on July 20th.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah, so we gotta get back to that foolishness. Just we gotta get back to that foolishness.
Are we doing cinnamon?
Huh?
Are we doing cinnamon?
Let me look at it because I don't want to do that Gabrielle Union movie. That's a no. So I will check that out.
About her.
Yeah, I didn't. When you sent it to us asking us if we were, I wasn't thinking about.
I'm just saying in comparison. Like I don't know about cinnamon. Let me check out cinnamon. And
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like I checked out that perfectly fine, and I was like, no. But cinnamon might be a different story.